Und hallo, herzlich willkommen zurück bei Honkai. Und wir machen ja weiter mit... Warte mal, was machst du hier?
I'm trying to come up with a new stage routine these days.
Okay, die macht hier gar nichts. Ich stehe hier einfach nur so rum. Gut. Gut, wir sind nämlich angekommen. Wir wollen jetzt die Charakterquest machen von Yunli. Let's go.
There you are. I was looking around before you got here. I already looked everywhere, but March 7th is nowhere to be found.
Ja.
Forget it. Let's just assume she successfully skipped class.
Ja, stimmt. Genau, die schön sind doch.
Actually, she's been quite... besides, I used to skip classes even more than her back when I was still learning. If I was in the mood, I could train for 3 days straight. So, I can understand where she's coming. Don't make excuses for her. Since you're here, let me treat you to some tasty food. I'm more interested in you. Let's walk and talk. Lingsha told me there's tasty food in Arum Alley. Let's go there.
Dumplings and steamed buns. The buns are huge.
A table for 2, please.
Zwei Personen.
Come on in.
Well,
Ganz Karte.
don't worry. I've got enough money with me.
No.
Well, then.
Thank you. Yeah. Grandpa said to never be
Ein Fass ohne Boden.
then eat to your heart. No, I've thought about it. Well, to be more... Yanqing mentioned you, so I've always been... Seriously?
Ein Schläger?
Yeah, now more than ever. So, it really is a baseball bat.
Oh.
Grandpa said that a sword doesn't have to be constrained by its shape. So, in a sense, let me guess. Amazing, right? And I've hunted down hundreds of swords. Yes, but
Just Miss Yunli. But for people like her who've
Tag.
always, it has been a while, Miss Nameless.
and you are?
Thank you for your introduction, Miss Nameless. I'm Shi-Kuei, and I apologize for... Yes, with the war dance approaching, Mr. Pavo's planet recently joined...
Miss Shi-Kuei.
I apologize for General Huayan
Apologize.
since you two were talking... General Huayan will hope...
Nice to meet you, but once the formalities at the Palace of Oh, you mean it also has the power to choose according to tradition. Well, those are just... Well, times have changed. Well, the sword hold the old-timers on council had a... That's the best possible out. Oh, you're... Even though the trade route just... sure, it's a big... Wonderful.
Wonderful.
But I am. I might not. Grandpa always asks, but now that we're invited,
Jo. Auf den da hinten hin.
Do you need me to formulate the next plan?
there you are.
Gehen wir weiter. Agendium, was will denn hier?
Please allow me to offer a sincere compliment, my fair lady. Your beauty is as pure as a snow-white iris. Well, if it isn't my dear friend, glad to meet you again.
Hier zu sehen.
Who is this weirdo?
I am Argent. May I have the honor? What a beautiful name.
Oh,
What?
you're here, Yunli.
Manners.
Sorry for keeping you waiting, Mr. Pavo.
Before the ceremony officially commences, I want to express my gratitude to the Knight Argenti. Thank you for enlightening us about the sword's origin, and for escorting it here safely so that we may
Yeah.
On behalf of the Kalevalan delegation,
I'm truly grateful for Kalevala's noble act of returning the sword, and for the Knight of Beauty's chivalry.
The Night of Beauty.
As we gather here on the Xianzhou Laofu, I officially welcome the sword back to its homeland.
Du bist auch einer der Teilnehmer Agenti Award.
It's a fitting name for a sword with such a legendary past. I still remember the name engraved on this sword the day it was forged. Guyin. It was forged by Han Guang, a craftsman from the Zhu Ming's Pyro Jaya Forge.
Wait. Hongguang?
Although its blade is worn and cracked, its essence remains as resilient as the Xianzhou Cloud Knights. All it needs is some repairs and polishing by the skilled craftsmen of the Artisanship Commission to regain its former glory. I've decided to entrust this sword, Guyin, to the Laofu Artisanship Commission for restoration. Furthermore, it will serve as the prize for the champion of the Laofu War Dance. This sword will be wielded against abominations to protect our...
thank you, General. It is an honor for Kalevala.
Now, esteemed knight and delegation members, please head to the Artisanship Commission, where...
No! This sword was forged by Hongguang.
Hongkong geschmiedet.
Yunli, these esteemed guests have brought back your father's last work. Where are your manners?
Deine Manieren.
Oh, I didn't realize this sword was actually forged by your father. Returning it to its rightful owner is,
Grandpa, give me that cursed sword right now. I'll melt away the remnants of that man's curse once and for all.
Don't be rude, Yunli. Apologize to our esteemed guests from afar.
I'm sorry.
Tut mir
I'm
leid.
sorry for making a scene. But I have to melt down this cursed sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands.
Yunli, please, go for now.
Yes. Nein. Jo. Du musst doch gehen.
This This is exactly why I didn't want Yunli to know about this. I didn't want to create trouble, but trouble found its way here anyway. Could you, please, keep an eye on Yunli for me? Don't worry about it. I need your help on this.
No,
I apologize for the...
dan kun je eens maar koken.
Unless I'm mistaken, Yunli should be around here somewhere.
Nothing in this report makes sense.
Nooit dat volmachten.
Stop watching me and say something.
Dat het wel echt was.
Did Grandpa send you to look for me? I bet he did. Really? Just so you know, I'm here just waiting for the perfect moment to snatch that sword. And once I have it, I'll melt it down before anyone can react. Don't even think. Grandpa sent you here. Surely he doesn't want you to help me. Have you heard of cursed swords? That sword is one. I guess that's what it means. A cursed sword? I'm not joking around. And I'm not making up some crazy story. While a cursed sword grants instant abilities to its wielder, it comes at a cost. It's like continuously adding fuel to the forge. With each swing, the sword drains the wielder's blood and essence. Day by day, the fuel will run out, leaving nothing but an... Soon enough, it will no longer be a person wielding a sword, but a mindless... I wonder if you've ever heard of a creature called a heliobus. There was a...
Dat kennen we schon.
I know. I shouldn't have caused a scene at the sword gifting ceremony. But I've thought this through. If I don't make a fuss now, that cursed sword will cause a whole lot more. By the way, aren't they supposed to be taking the sword to the Artisanship Commission for repairs? Why haven't they come out yet? Looks like they're not going to show up here. It doesn't matter. I'll track down. I have to go now.
Is she planning to sneak into the Artisanship Commission and steal that sword? Maybe.
Dat is dan.
The Artisanship Commission is so big. Where could she be?
Just a while ago, a girl came up to me, all fierce and demanding directions. She said she's a member of the Artisanship Commission.
No idea who she is.
Oh, I see. That explains it then.
Explains what?
Okay.
She said something like,
Wait, why did you give her?
Where else? Like I said, she was headed straight for the warehouse, where all the valuable arumatons are.
Yeah, that place is...
Und da hinten. Gut.
What are you doing here?
Was machst du hier?
Look, if I get into trouble, it's my problem. I don't want to drag you into it.
Ich will dich da nicht mit reinziehen.
Fine. Let's smash these metal cans first. Then we can talk.
Blechbüchsen. Jo, machen wir. Wir haben die Blechbüchsen gebucht.
Do we still have the upper hand?
Again?
Enemy data secure. Net markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. Commencing research. Here, try this.
Don't worry, it's just a scrape. Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed.
Ab dafür.
It too shall fall. I'm on guard. On the still waters of oblivion. Lance at the ready.
Specimen sighted. Deeper. Commencing support. Ready for another?
Destined for oblivion. I weep for the departed.
Ordentliche Schnitzel.
It too shall fall.
Das war aber bloß einer, wo ist der zweite?
That was the last of them. Thank
Das
you
war der letzte.
for helping me out.
Ja. Na gut.
This place. Seems like not even those crafts. You're not really here to help me.
Bist du gar nicht hier?
You're here to stop me, right?
Hier.
No. It's not.
Nein.
Grandpa made a promise to the delegation. And going back on his word would tarnish his reputation. And make leaving that cursed sword here will also make things difficult for the lawful. So I'll think you probably think I'm being impulsive and unreasonable. No, really. Do I come across that way?
Ich kann umstreiten. Jetzt hast du wieder.
Seems like you've met a lot of people who don't tell you the whole story.
Heimlichen. Okay. Okay.
I owe you an explanation. But this isn't the best place to talk. We need to find somewhere else. Let me be clear, though. I'm still pretty rough. I already told you about Guyan. The sword that was returned during the ceremony. It's a cursed sword with a heliobus inside. And Han Guang, the swordsmith who forged it, is my father.
Is my father.
I rarely mention his name to anyone other than Grandpa. Maybe, like you said, I've been avoiding having to talk about him. But as long as my mission to hunt down cursed swords continues, it's impossible to avoid the topic forever. For some reason, I feel like I can open up to you. Honestly, I don't remember much about him. All I know is that the Pyrogyre Forge used to be a bustling place, with people from all over coming to get one of his swords. They called him the greatest master craftsman since Yingxing. I didn't catch all the details, but I do remember seeing him forge those amazing swords, while the visitors watched with smiles on their faces. I used to believe that craftsmen brought happiness to others. The swords crafted by the Pyrogyre Forge are famed across the stars. They possess exceptional sharpness and invincibility. With these legendary weapons, even ordinary people can become skilled warriors, capable of overcoming the most formidable opponents. But then, he became obsessed with becoming a famed swordsmith, and started crossing all sorts of lines. He forged cursed swords that should never exist. And all those people who desired those twisted swords started flooding into the palace. However, just like Grandpa said, those who excel with the sword will eventually suffer by it. The palace was overrun with visitors from afar. Some left empty-handed. Others got swords that didn't fulfill their desires. And some even resorted to stealing. And in the midst of all the chaos my father created, he ended up being stabbed by one of the swords he forged. It was so sudden and unexpected. Everything went silent for a moment. All I could hear was the sound of bones breaking and blood pouring out. I was frozen in place, unable to move. It was only when my mother pushed me away from the deadly swing of the cursed sword that I managed to escape. I don't remember much after that, except for the pounding of my heart and the sound of my own gasps of breath. I could hear the smiths in the Pyrogyre Forge shouting, "Run away, Yunli!" And the screams of agony. My tears wouldn't stop, and I couldn't see anything. I kept gasping for air until I collapsed in a pool of blood. If General Huayan hadn't arrived in time, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you now. After that, General Huayan took me in and treated me like his own granddaughter. To me, he is 100 times better than my sinful father. He taught me forging and swordsmanship. Hangguang paid for his sins, but his troubled legacy must not go unchecked. According to the records, he forged a total of 1,382 heliobus cursed swords, and 182 of them had unique designs. When I joined the Pyrogyre Forge for training, I made a vow to hunt down all those cursed swords. So far, I found 312 of them, and Guyun will be my 313th. Like all the other cursed swords, I'll separate it from the heliobus. Then, I'll melt it down and make it part of the Blade of Forged Remnants. I've said my piece now. Even though it'll be tough for Grandpa, I still have to melt down the sword. So, you're saying, even though Grandpa knew it was a cursed sword, he still chose it to be a prize because he thought it wouldn't cause any trouble? No. No matter how I think about it, something is definitely off. Grandpa didn't tell me anything about the ceremony. He must be hiding something. Besides, after our argument today, you want me to go back and talk to him now? No way. At least not to... Somehow, after talking to you, I feel like I've cooled off a bit. Well, I'll have an honest conversation with Grandpa tomorrow. And I won't take any action against Guyun until he gives me his... Yeah. I shouldn't have done that in a public place. Anyway, thank you. We'll catch up.
I should go back to the Palace of Astrum and tell General Huayan what happened at the Artisanship Commission.
unseren
I just bought a new star skiff and I crashed it.
Mit Kiste da.
My granddaughter didn't cause any trouble, did she, young lady?
Na.
Sorry for all this trouble.
Yunli
Yunli told you quite a bit. Now it's time for this old man to tell my side of the story. Hangguang was my beloved disciple. A rare genius not seen in the Pyrogyre Forge since Yingxing. However, talent can sometimes be a curse. He had an unusual fervor for forging, and he dreamed of forging a sword with self-awareness that surpassed that of humans. He believed it would make warriors invincible without any training. According to him, while weapons of mass destruction like zooming flames and alchemical arrows can destroy many enemies, true victory lies. Usually, Xianzhou swordsmiths infuse a basic level of awareness into their swords to make them easier to wield. But even then, soldiers need to experience countless battles to overcome fear and sharpen their instincts. So... By infusing heliobi into swords, he managed to forge weapons that could grant their wielders strength and valor. And after countless battles, all the anger, fear, and bloodlust are soaked up. No matter how noble Hangguang's intentions were, Later, Outworlders, and you know what happened. I thought this sword could be an opportunity. I wanted to tell her that her father wasn't all evil. I also wanted to find a chap. I've instructed the artisanship
Der sich beruhigt. Ich bin zu Tode erschrocken.
Since my granddaughter mentioned talking to me tomorrow, I'll be waiting for her. By the way,
time to go back and find that class-skipping March 7th.
Zeit verfliegt, während hier mich tratscht. Ein neuer Tag bricht an. Keine Mochi oder what? Was ist hier los? Hat wer hier was geklaut?
All right, everyone is here. It's time for questioning.
Zeit für die Befragung.
Yunli, I'm sure you understand why the official called you here, right?
Yeah? But I didn't steal the sword.
Unfortunately, official Dahao didn't hear Yunli's promise. If we don't recover the sword, we will be breaking our promise to the Lawfu and betraying the delegation. We're counting on you to find the truth, official Dahao.
Yes. It's my duty to thoroughly...
After everything, the sword still got stolen.
In this case of Gu Yun's theft, everyone involved first, during the sword...
That's...
The Realm Keeping Commission and...
If March 7th were here, she'd probably jinx it and accidentally reveal who the thief was.
box containing Guyun was opened and the...
Well, I do know about the box and the cursed sword.
Exactly. The suspect had a clear motive, so, besides the ceremony participants, Argenti? Oh, that Knight of Beauty. You might not know, but he's the one who wrecked. So, he wouldn't have gone through all... In that case... That... Master Gongshu checked the... So... Then stop joking around.
I can prove that she came to me.
Put it simply, not... So...
I didn't steal the sword.
Well, when you've eliminated the impossible... If you want to prove me wrong...
Let me gather my thoughts. I need to help Yunli clear her name. Did we miss any clues? So, the thief took the sword from the... Why is this flower petal inside the case?
Yes, I received your message when I went back this morning. However, as the master... Wait, no. I just remembered. My precious...
Yunli says she didn't steal the sword, but I know well you were with Yunli yesterday, young... After the ceremony, Argenti carried... No, she was... I'm counting on you then.
I don't want to make things difficult if I can find that cursed sword. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. There's something else bothering me. Yeah.
Who could have thought that regardless, we've accomplished our... That's enough, young lady. The first master of the miHoYo, the monarchs would heed the guidance of the... What is, Helio? What? The point is that the miHoYo...
If you've found any clues...
Thank you.
100% sure.
Throughout
the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission. And that was Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission trying to take away Guyun. After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Guyun.
On second thought, maybe let me think about it again.
Take your time. After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave, but snuck into the arsenal alone and stole Gunyun. We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
Can I prove this?
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission, and that was Miss Yunli.
On second thought,
Take your time. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one...
your statement isn't quite
True. We looked into it as well.
Why would I?
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship Commission.
On second thought,
Take your time. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke in.
on second thought,
Take your time. Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the Artisanship.
on second thought,
Take your time. Throughout the
Match.
entire... Miss Yunli caused a after bidding farewell. We haven't found...
can I prove?
Throughout the entire... Miss Yunli caused a after bidding farewell to you. Yunli pretended to leave, but snuck into the...
On second thought,
Take your time. After bidding
Match.
farewell... We haven't...
can I?
Throughout the... Miss Yunli... After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave.
On second thought,
Is
Take
all
your
your
time.
friends?
After bidding farewell... We haven't...
can I prove?
Throughout the... Miss Yun... After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretend...
On second thought,
Take your time. After bidding farewell to you...
after Yunli and I went our and much later, Master Gong. Can I prove this?
After bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave. But wait, you messaged Master Gongshu?
Titel.
However,
I didn't.
after bidding farewell to you, Yunli pretended to leave. We haven't found any other suspects.
Can I prove?
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the artisanship.
On second thought,
Take your time. Throughout the entire... Miss Yunli, after bidding farewell to you, Yunli
on second thought,
Take your time. After bidding... We...
can I?
Throughout the entire... After bidding farewell to you, Yunli... We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
I carefully examined the lock of the sword case.
What does that mean?
Charakter. Kann ich überhaupt nicht verschossen
As
werden.
to why the case was never locked in the plus, I found which piece of evidence should I?
We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
Can I prove?
Throughout the entire incident, there was only one suspect who broke into the artisanship.
On second thought, maybe.
Take your time. Throughout the entire... Miss Yunli caused a ruckus...
What Dahao said seemed exactly. So
If your testimony... Miss Yunli caused a ruckus at the Artisanship Commission trying to take away Guyun.
on second thought,
Take your time.
Take
Miss
your
Yunli
time.
caused a ruck after bidding... We haven't found...
can I prove?
Throughout the entire incident... Miss Yunli after bidding farewell to you. We haven't found it...
Looks like you're missing some crucial
There are no signs of the arsenal being broken.
No, the fact that there are no. Which piece of evidence should I use to?
We haven't found any other suspects or evidence.
I found this in the crevice at the bottom of the case.
A rose petal? Huh. I must have missed it during the search. But why was there a petal inside the case?
I don't know, but I do know that wherever that.
Tsubi.
My thoughts are a mess. Let me sort them out. The sword case was never locked, which is evidence that only... But how did he manage to take the sword from the artisan?
I know. Guyun flew out of the case on its own. The Night of Beauty only unlocked the box to aid its escape.
Don't be ridiculous. How can a sword escape?
It's an die Arme.
You've never...
I've only...
Like I said,
Official Dahao, where can we find that knight?
Let me see.
let's go.
Gut, aber das war's jetzt mal hier für die Folge. Und man sieht sich nächste Folge wieder. Bis dann, ciao.